Have you ever had that sinking feeling in your chest where the man you love suddenly feels distant? You text him, and the replies get shorter. You see him, but something's changed in his eyes. And while he says everything's fine, you can feel it in your gut something isn't. And it hurts. You start wondering, what happened? Did I do something wrong? How do I make him want me again? If this feels like your story, then I want you to stay with me. Because what I'm about to share are 6 powerful shifts, not just tips, that will change the emotional energy between you and your man. These aren't games. They're rooted in emotional psychology and self-worth, and they work when you do these things, not just for him, but for you. He won't just miss you, he'll remember exactly why he couldn't stop thinking about you in the first place. Let's begin. 1. Pull back with elegance, not emotion. When a man begins to drift, most women do the exact opposite of what works. They lean in, ask questions, send longer texts, try harder to hold things together. But here's the truth. When you chase, he doesn't have to. And what men value most is what they have to earn. So instead of reacting emotionally, pause gracefully. Don't send the good morning texts. Don't be the one always checking in, not because you are punishing him, but because you are creating space for him to notice your absence. Silence used with poise, not pettiness, is louder than any love letter. Let him wonder where your energy is gone. Let him feel the contrast, because when a man feels your emotional absence, he starts to remember how full your presence really was. 2, reclaim your glow. Make yourself your obsession. If he's pulling away, it's time to stop chasing him and start chasing yourself again. Reignite the version of you used to love being. Pick up the hobbies you paused. Say yes to that girl's dinner. Book the yoga class. Dance in your living room. Laugh too loud. You see, attraction isn't just about looks. It's about energy. When a woman is glowing, full of purpose and engulfed in joy, that glow is magnetic. Men are drawn to women who have something going on, who don't orbit around a man, but shine in their own universe. So ask yourself, if I met myself right now, would I be intrigued? If the answer is no, good news, you're just one spark away from reigniting that version of you he used to admire and now gets to miss 3. Be mysterious, not distant. Mystery is not about manipulation. It's about having layers he hasn't yet discovered. And won't unless he earns it. You don't need to announce everything you're doing. Let your life breathe. Let him ask. Let him wonder. If he asks what you're up to and you say, "Oh, just had a beautiful dinner with some friends," you don't need to list every detail. Let the story unfold slowly. Let him lean in. Men are naturally wired to pursue what feels just slightly out of reach. A woman who is open yet unpredictable kind, yet not overly available, creates a curiosity that lingers in his mind like a scent he can't place. But once more, for use social media like a queen, not a teen. If you're going to post, make sure your content reflects your real joy, not staged drama. Post that moment where you're laughing with friends at brunch, or the shot of the sunset you enjoyed in silence. Let your life look full, not fake, because here's the truth. Men notice, and when he sees you living, smiling, and thriving without him needing to constantly be the source of your joy, he starts to feel something he didn't expect. Loss, not because you are flaunting, but because he's realizing what it feels like to not be part of your joy. And that, my dear, is how the missing begins. 5 wait for the right time to talk. Let him bring it up after you start shifting your energy. Something surprising will happen. He'll notice, he'll call more, he'll ask deeper questions, he'll suddenly want to know where you've been emotionally. But wait, don't pounce. Let's say finally you noticed. Instead, breathe, let him talk, let him share, and then burn with love and clarity. Tell him what you need. Tell him what kind of connection feels right for you. Tell him how you love and what kind of love you expect in return. This isn't about threatening to leave. It's about standing in your self-worth. And if he isn't ready for that, that brings us to the last most powerful shift, 6. Be willing to walk away with dignity, grace, and unshakable strength. This part, it's not easy. In fact, it's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do when you love someone deeply, because it requires more than just confidence. It demands courage. The kind of courage that says, I love you, but I love myself more. If a man continues to show up half-heartedly, if he's emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, distant, or constantly leaves you wondering where you stand, then at some point you have to stop trying to convince him of your worth. Not because you're giving up, not to manipulate him. And definitely not to teach him a lesson, but because you've reached a place of deep self-respect, a place where you no longer accept breadcrumbs when your heart craves the whole meal. You're not meant to be almost loved. You're meant to be deeply cherished. And here's the truth. A man can only truly miss you when he genuinely fears losing you. Not when you beg, not when you chase, but when he realizes that you will walk away if your soul isn't safe in his presence. And when you walk away, not in anger, but in quiet dignity, you send the strongest message possible. I am not afraid to be alone. I'm afraid to be unloved. While standing next to someone, that kind of strength, that kind of quiet power, it's unforgettable. Because the woman who chooses herself, who walks away without slamming the door, without drama, without trying to force someone to love her, is the woman who stays on a man's mind long after she's gone. She's the one he remembers when all the noise fades, the one he realizes he lost because she knew her worth, because she didn't settle, because she refused to shrink just to be tolerated. And whether or not he comes back, that woman always wins, because she chose herself. And that, my dear, is the most powerful move you will ever make. Listen, I know it is scary to shift your energy. I know your heart is soft, and the silence can feel heavier than the fear of losing him. But remember this, the right man won't pull away when you rise, he'll rise with you. And if he doesn't, you're not losing love, you're clearing space for something real. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever emotionally pulled back? Did he come closer or fade away? Your story matters, and if this helped you feel stronger, more grounded, and worthy of true love, tap like, subscribe, and share this with another woman who needs to hear it. Because sometimes being missed begins with choosing yourself.